and he shall speak great words against the Most High.
Great words. The Sabbath is Sunday now. Read.
And shall wear out the saints.
The saints is another word for the Israelites. Read that in Psalms 148 verse 14. And shall wear out the saints. Sis, how did that devil wear out the saints? With slavery. Read.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Then what did he do?
And think to change times and laws.
And think to change times, daylight saving time, adding days to the month, Caesar Augustus, adding days to the month. They thought they could change our time. Our time go by the moon. That's why the moon decrease in light and come back in light. We're supposed to look at the full moon. That's how we start counting all of our days.
He speaks about the portals in the
They change.
Kings.
Well, we just gonna go with what it say right here. Read again.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Wearing outside in slavery, teaching us that the Sabbath was Sunday. They know it's Saturday. Read.
And think to change times.
The time that they changing, the Sabbath thing ain't Saturday no more for y'all niggas. Because they know that keeping the Sabbath is how we come back to God. God say, keep my Sabbath and show me that it's a delight to you. And then I'll save you and make you ride upon the other nations. That's in Isaiah 56. Read. 58.
And think to change times and laws.
Think to change times and laws. Because God sent the prophets back today. And we teaching our brothers and sisters, bringing them back to what we're supposed to be doing. Saturday, rehearsing the righteous acts, which is today. So when your rehearsal gonna start? Because we out here doing it, teaching our people on the Sabbath like God said. We're trying to show our sister that she got to congregate on the Sabbath day.
Right.
Read.
And they shall be given unto his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
So we was given under the hand of the devil for 350 years. A time, and a time and a half. 350 years. To do what? To do what? To learn their customs.
Maybe it's ended 150 years ago.
To learn. We still slaves right now. If I kidnap somebody and bring them in my house, and then they get Stockholm Syndrome and want to stay in my house, did they get released from slavery? They still in my house. Are we still in the house where we were brought to? We still here, right? So how we ain't slaves no more? Not most of our people keep their customs? They got us. They assimilated us. We still where we was brought in our slavery. We still not keeping our customs. So we still slaves. Who works for who? We Israelites. We supposed to run the world. We working for them. We pay taxes to them. So how we ain't slaves no more? We still slaves.
As Romans, they do everything by the sword.
We still slaves. Give me Acts chapter 17, verse 1. I'm going to show you that after Christ died, I ain't saying you believe this. A lot of our people believe after Christ died on the cross, laws are done away with. Acts chapter 17. We're going to see what our Paul did. Read.
Acts chapter 17 and verse 1. Now when they had passed through Amphipolis and Apollonia, they came to Thessalonica, where was a synagogue of the Jews.
A synagogue of the Jews. This in white man's land.
Synagogue of the devil.
Hold on. This in white man's land, but there was a synagogue of the Jews. That don't mean the Edomite nations was in the synagogue. That was Paul going from nation to nation, looking for the Jews that were scattered, like the curses say. You don't keep my commandments, I'm going to scatter you to the four corners of the earth.
Along with the Pharisees.
This synagogue,
they funded the Pharisees.
This synagogue in the white man's land, what we was doing? Read.
And Paul, as his manner was,
his customs, Christ dead and gone. What Christ told Paul and them to keep doing? Read.
Went into them and 3 Sabbath days reasoned with them out of the scriptures.
Still keeping the Sabbath day in the white man land. Travel, finding our brothers, like we trying to tell our sister, you got to come together. That's why he made a synagogue for us to come together. That's why we out here though.
I come every day.
Listen, this the thing while we dealing with y'all. We know it's a Sabbath day. When we leave here, we finna go to a synagogue. We finna sit down and we finna worship our God. Right. If we see y'all out here, that's telling us y'all don't have a synagogue to go to. That's why we out here trying to gather the lost sheep, so y'all can come back and congregate with us and learn this law. Give me Judges 5:11 again. Paul was following this. Paul was trying to find the people. That's the love of the Bible. If he hated them, he wouldn't have went nowhere. He knew they were somewhere scattered, not keeping the Sabbath day, which is Saturday, the 7th day of the week. Read.
Judges 5, verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in places of drawing water.
In Rome, in Amphilia, all of them places, them was the places of drawing water. They were slaves. We were slaves in Rome. So wherever you're at as a slave, what you supposed to do?
there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord.
Anywhere you taken as a slave, you better rehearse the righteous acts. The Passover is a righteous act. Y'all keep the Passover? You keep the Passover? Just yes or no. Let your yeas be yea, your nays be nay. You our brothers, all love. You keep the Passover? Day of Atonement? Feast of Tabernacles?
Naturally.
But that's why we out here. See what I'm saying? This is the love of the Bible. Because you got to be keeping all them things before God come back. The new moon, all of that. We still got to keep that. God tell us in the Bible that we going to keep the new moon in the kingdom. The law, statutes, and commandments ain't done away with. The animal sacrifice was the only thing he got rid of. But we still got to live as righteous men and women, keeping the commandments in our flesh until we get our real bodies. Nehemiah 10:31. Let me show y'all something. It's rules and regulations to the Sabbath. Because the Seventh-day Adventist church, they congregate on the seventh day, but they think that's all you got to do. It's more to it. That ain't nothing but a Christian church that show up on Saturday. That's all it is.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
That's all it is. Now we're going to show you another law of the Sabbath. Read.
Nehemiah chapter 10:31. And if the people of the land bring word of any victuals.
So if the people of the land that we in, we used to have gates around our land to protect our people. And the other nation would come in, buy and sell. You know, everybody, was buying and selling, making money. So if the people of the land bring any ware, W-A-R-E, that's merchandise. Read.
Any ware or any victuals on the...
Victuals is food. So if the people bring it in merchandise and food, obviously it's to sell. Read.
On the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath.
That's a Sabbath law. We're not supposed to buy anything or sell anything today, which is the Sabbath. They selling ware and victuals right now. Look how many people breaking the law. How many Israelites you think we see walk in and out of there buying and selling? I know you didn't know, sister. That's buying and selling. That's buying and selling on the Sabbath day. So you're breaking the law of God. The love of the Bible, actually we're going to get it. Is on that? Read it again.
And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day, and that we would leave the seventh year and the accession of every day.
Because that day is holy. That day is holy and separate. Give me what I wanted. Leviticus 19:17 real quick. That day is holy. This day is holy. What we're supposed to be doing all day is worshiping and coming out here and trying to save the souls and minds of our people. That's what we're here for. This ain't a show. That's what we're here for. Bunch of evil I used to do on Saturday. I'm off today. It's a whole bunch of fun I could be having. But why have fun in this life? We got a kingdom to get. We got a kingdom to get. So the love of the Bible is rebuke. That's why we out here to correct y'all. Obviously, y'all didn't know that y'all couldn't buy and sell today. So what we can visually see you doing, what sins we can see you doing, we got to get that sin up off of you. Because we love y'all. Read. 19. Leviticus,
Leviticus 5:1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing.
So if any one of our souls sin, if we see the sin or hear the voice of any swearing, meaning talking against God, doing anything against God, read.
And his witness where he had seen or known of it.
We're witnesses of the things y'all doing against God. Read.
If he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
Damn. If we don't say nothing, now the sin you doing is put right on me. I'll be damned, because I'm trying to get the kingdom myself. So if I see y'all doing something out of order and I don't say nothing, we all sinners. We all worthless. Now get that in Leviticus 19. This is why we telling you this. A lot of people get mad when we do this. They say, you can't judge me, tell me what to do. It's a book of Judges in the Bible. And them judges was Israelites. So that ain't judging, that's warning is what we're doing. Only one person can judge you. When you get judged, we talking about death. So when they say you can't judge me, it's a foolish statement to even begin with. This ain't judgment, this love. How can you see your child smoking weed? So can your child smoke some weed? You tell him to stop. You go, hey daddy, the Bible said you can't judge me. That ain't judging, that's warning. That's love. This is the love of the Bible in the Old Testament. The Bible always talked about love. It's another lie. Read.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
So God said you should not hate your brother or your sister in your heart. So if he said you shouldn't hate your brother, now he about to go over what love is. He's going to give you the flip side. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Rebuke means correction. So what they mean you can't judge? God just said rebuke your neighbor. Rebuke means to correct him. That's the love of the Bible. I can't give you a hug and kiss and that's going to stop.
Laws and judgment throughout the book.
Right. That's what the whole book is an instruction book. So if he set up prophets to teach the people, that's rebuke and judgment. I'm telling you what the God said to do. How am I tell you what God said to do if I don't read the Bible and go over the scriptures?
Leviticus 19:15.
Read verse 15.
Verse 15. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment.
God said we shouldn't do no unrighteousness in judgment. He's telling us to judge. But the way he's telling us to deal with you is through the commandments. And ain't that what we've been doing, sis? So our judgment that we did was, we didn't just tell you you couldn't buy and sell today. We showed you that God said it through Nehemiah. So that's what God set us up to do. Read.
Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty.
So in judgment, it don't matter whether you got a high position in this life or a low position. If Barack Obama walked past sin in the midst of sin, we gonna blast him and tell him keep the commandments. Michael Jordan walk by, we gonna blast him, tell him to keep the commandments. If a bum walk by, we gonna blast him and tell him to keep the commandments. Why? Because we all the children of Israel. We had the rich, and we had the rich in this Bible, and we had the poor. They all had to be under the same law. Read verse 17 again.
Verse 17. Leviticus 19:17.
Yes, sir.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
So if we shouldn't hate him, what's the love?
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor,
Why?
and not suffer sin upon him.
So we rebuke our neighbor so we can get that sin up off you. That's why we out here teaching the law.
The flesh.
Read.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge.
Now this pertains to you. Read 18 again, because the story you gave me when you walked up, I understand we get angry sometimes. But Ephesians say what? Be angry, that's not a sin, but sin not. Where would the sin come? If I got angry enough to start putting hands on my brother. I understand we get upset.
Don't give the devil no praise.
Exactly, because an angry man can't be justified. Once you beat the dude up, knock him out, you didn't already show the hate to your brother.
Spiritual warfare is a motherfucker.
Right.
When it comes to brother, sister, and mama, and daddy.
Right, but we gotta force ourselves to love one another because
Serious, bro.
I'm 49. I came to the truth at 34. I used to love to fight, but now when I get mad at my brothers, the feeling is still out. But I gotta remember what I learned and deal righteous with that brother, versus putting my hands on him or doing something crazy. I still slip and fall out as far as my speech, but it's gonna take time. I get mad, I start talking crazy to brothers and stuff like that. But that's why God gave us grace to get time to get better, to get to that perfection.
Yeah, he still got me.
But we're going to read this about the incident you had earlier before you got here. 18.
Leviticus 19:18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
He said, you shall not avenge or bear a grudge.
I already knew.
I know he made you mad. You said you started
The devil
stretching.
was trying to stop a thought process.
You said you started stretching. You finna whoop some ass
That
today.
wasn't even the action. That was a thought process.
Right.
That was trying to attack a thought process.
Right, but you know how you get the devil up off you? Keeping the commandments got to dwell in you.
Yeah.
Meaning you got to read these words, study them, and apply them.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, His word.